Good morning, YouTube family. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome to Escape from Crazy Town. I actually used Crazy Town yesterday because I was hanging out with my friends and we were talking about some Crazy Town crap that's going on in the world right now. And we are like, yeah, and that's why we want to escape from Crazy Town. Well, welcome, you guys. We are very happy. I'm very happy to have you here today. And we're going to have a great talk today because, oh my gosh, it really relates to the crazy times we're living in, um, and how to discern lies from the truth, you guys. There really is, there are a lot of lies and hatred and junk out there right now. And we're going to get into it because it really relates a lot to the narcissistic crap that we have been subjected to, we have experienced personally, and now we're experiencing it on a grand scale. So, this is why we're going to talk about why the new supply is hiding the narcissist lies or protecting their lies or pushing their lies. There is a reason behind that, and it is psychological. It is to do with their character. It has to do with their character. It has to do with it is that they're protecting for themselves. So it totally applies to our life right now. So let me see here. Good to see you guys hopping on, Obi-Wan. Oh, you know what? I think I need to change my, here we go, to live chat. Here we go. Artist Lover, good to see you. And Rissa Risk, good to see you. Sometimes YouTube doesn't show me all the people who are hopping on and doesn't show me your comments. So if I miss your comments, it's been because of that. Pavrithra, good to see you. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but glad to have you here. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Welcome to Happy Crappy Hour. I am so glad to have you here. I want to talk about what our happies were this week and what our crappies were this week. As you know, our happies are good things that happened, and we want to keep doing those things that are good. And our crappies are the bad things that happened or that we did that obviously don't work and makes our life worse. So we want to stop doing those things, and we learn from that, and we learn from each other. So, you guys, let's see how we're. Oh, okay. Let me see some of these comments coming in. Teresa, good morning to you. Obi says, my narc got me conditioned to social distancing. Yep, this is like a dream come true. I love my mask because I shower and it smells great under my mask. What? I hate my mask. I'll tell you that right now. I hate it. God did not design us to breathe like this, and this is total BS. I'm telling you, I'm on the verge of cursing a storm, but I'm holding myself back, you guys, because, I really try not to offend people, and I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. But oh my gosh, I listen to some people out there on YouTube and I love them and they curse like crazy. And I'm just like, yes, I so agree. I am with you. You guys, it is total crazy town out there. And I wanted to share something with you. By the way, some people may not know. I've been pretty involved. I was really involved back in 2012 elections, right? And I got to learn a lot about our political system. I'll just tell you that. And because of that, I learned a lot about our Constitution. I learned about what our government's limitations are or should be, and what overreach of government looks like. And let me tell you, whatever you believe, whether you believe we should be wearing a mask or not, I want you to understand that overreach of government is destructive, okay? Um, and what I mean by this overreach is the governor is sort of like the president of the state, okay? Because each state has its own little president, if you will. They each have a governor. And that's why they call the governor's wife, the first lady, right, of the state, or the first man if the governor is a woman. So their spouse is the first lady or first man of the state. So, as president of the state or governor of the state, they're not allowed to make laws. Like there's a legislative body, which is your House of Representatives and your Senate, the state House of Representatives and the state Senate. They make the laws. They write the bills, right? First, they have to write a bill, and then they have to vote on it and get it passed in the House and the Senate. Once they get that passed, then the governor signs that law that they passed, right? The bill that they passed. that he signs it or she signs it into law. That's how the governor can present, I guess, a law or a restriction or a requirement or a mandate or an ordinance. We are being told that the state is ordinance or a state requirement or a state mandate is telling us we have to wear a mask. Here's the deal. The governor can't do that. He can request, he can suggest, he can look towards the health department and say, "Hey, health department, if you see a huge threat, would you please order this?" And the health department can do that. But the governor himself or herself cannot do that. They cannot just pass any law they want. Otherwise, they can also tell you, "Oh, by the way, now I'm going to also require you to drive on the left side of the street." It's like, or whatever they want you to do. Now I'm going to require you at every household to give me 10% of your money. Like, the governor cannot do that. And actually, in California, I understand, like, oh my gosh, this is insane. They're going to be shutting off. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting off here. But they're going to be shutting off the electricity and water of people who are not following these quote unquote state mandates, right? About masks and social distancing and whatever, I don't know, stay at home or something. If they are not following these illegal, by the way, these are illegal ordinances, illegal mandates that the governor is putting on these people. The governor cannot require these people to do anything. The governor can only suggest. And then the governor has to sit back and wait for the House of Representatives and their Senate to draft a bill and pass that bill, because the House of Representatives and the Senate are the people who were voted in to represent each of the districts, all the different communities. And that's how we have a voice, is by voting in from each of these different communities. And even though we're just one tiny community or one tiny household, you have a voice through your representative, through your state senator. But the governor is like, nope, guess what? I'm going to ignore a huge population of my constituents, and I'm going to pass whatever I feel I want to do. That's a dictator, you guys. Anyway, so in California, I just heard that they are now going to go after people, shutting off their electricity, shutting off their water, if they don't comply to these ordinances. And I was like, what the heck? That's insanity. Because all the while they're complaining about, well, we have to keep sending out welfare checks because the children, even if the parents are a mess and using drugs and are irresponsible, the children are going to be suffering. Well, don't you think the children of these people will suffer too if you turn off their water? I mean, it is total insanity out there. And this is where we're, oh, you guys, I am on a soapbox today because I have had it. I've had it with this overreach. It's ridiculous. Anyway, they can suggest, and unless we're in a state of emergency, the governor cannot require you legally and have police arrest you, because what are the police arresting you on? You haven't broken any laws. These are not laws. Anyway, you guys, here we are. Why does the new supply hide or protect or push the narcissist lies? Let me get to it. Because it benefits the new supply. That's why. That's why the new supply continues to hide the narcissist lies, because it benefits the new supply. The new supply is selfish, self-serving, self-centered. They may not be a narcissist, but they are all these things while they are with the narcissist, because they will do anything to protect their world, their fantasy world, with the narcissist. All right, you guys, I'm going to get into a bunch more detail about this, but I want you I'm sorry, I really went on there, but I'm not choosing sides. I'm not trying to tell you guys to choose sides. I'm just asking you guys to think, and not just to think, but to understand what government restrictions there really are, and don't just follow along like a mouse or a hamster or whatever, a guinea pig. Don't just follow along. Do not become mindless followers of just because someone says, oh, you have to do this. I do? Why? Why do I have to? Is it legally required, or is it a request? Now, stores can request, actually, stores can require you to wear a mask in their private facility, right? Their private property. It's their business. So they can say, and I have no problem with that. Say a store says, our store management requires that you wear a mask if you want to shop here. That's fine, because now you still, in this country of ours, while we still have our liberties, we can choose to go in that store or we can choose to stay out of that store. That's totally our choice. But when they tell us, the governor says we have to do this no matter what, we can't choose, right? There's no more choice allowed here for you. You can't go someplace and not be able to wear a mask. Let me tell you something so ridiculous. I went tubing last weekend, and that's where you get on these big inflatable tubes and you float down a river. We're walking alongside the river, and we're carrying our tubes and we have our bathing suits on, right? And they have cops posted all along the river handing out masks to us tubers who are about to get onto the water and telling us we have to wear a mask because it's an ordinance, a mandate from the governor. And I was like, I'm not here to argue, and I do not recommend arguing with police. And I was very respectful with all of the officers that we encountered because I don't blame them. They're following what they're ordered to do. The police are required to follow what the governor tells them to do, except if it goes against the law. And sadly, a lot of the police don't listen to that. They don't realize that they're actually there to uphold the law, not to uphold the governor. Yes, same thing. They are not there to uphold the governor. They are up there to uphold the law. Anyway, they're handing out these masks to us, which I thought was ridiculous. So, okay, I'll put it on. I'll walk along the sidewalk as we're going up, upstream to get into the river. And I'm looking around, and everybody's got a mask. Just about everybody. Only those who haven't encountered the cops yet don't have a mask, right? We get in the river, and it's like, okay, it's ridiculous to wear a paper mask while you're in the river. So, of course, I just shove it into my bathing suit. Because what am I going to do with a paper mask? So here you guys go. We're going to litter the river with all these paper masks as we go down, because there's no way to secure it. There's no way to keep it dry. There's no way to keep track of it, especially you're flipping out and over on top of your, out of your tube and into the water. There's no way to hold on to it. So here we go. I'm watching the river. I'm in the, actually, a second time when we were going up the sidewalk again to get back in the river. So we've done one run. We're going to do another run. Cops are still handing out masks. And I see a woman in the river with her paper mask on in a tube. I'm not talking about like she's on a boat or she's somewhere standing on dry land or a dry surface on the river, on a dock or something. No, she's in an inner tube, floating around with her butt in the water, her legs in the, feet sticking into the water with a mask on her face. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is how scared they have us right now, that people are too scared to be in open space in the air, how God designed us to breathe, by the way. They say it is so much more dangerous if we breathe in our own air over and over and over again. And even if you buy the most breathable mask, it's still going to inhibit your oxygen. Ever since I started wearing the mask, I started getting these migraines. I can't breathe. I get a headache every day that I wear the mask. And I don't even wear it for very long. I wear it just for the time I need to while I'm in a store. Oh my gosh, you guys. Insane. So sometimes I wear it for 30 minutes. Sometimes I wear it for an hour and a half, depending on if I go from store to store to store. And you guys, this is ridiculous. I hope you guys wake up to Crazytown out there, because we are being told a bunch of lies. We are being told, and the truth is being suppressed, just like in Crazytown, just like in Narcissist Crazytown. It's the exact same thing. So let me get to this point, you guys. Let me get to the topic today, because here's the deal. The new supply, or the flying monkeys, or those who support the narcissist and their crazy demands and their crazy requirements on us, right? To be within their presence. The narcissist has total control over the supply, because the supply wants to keep up the fantasy world that they live in with the narcissist. And why would they want that? One, because maybe they benefit from it financially, right? Maybe the narcissist is their sugar mama or sugar daddy, right? And so the new supply is going to want to protect their sugar mama or their sugar daddy. Number two, it's also because they could be criminally implicated with the narcissist. The narcissist may be running some kind of financial scam, could have committed some kind of crime that the new supply now knows about, but hasn't turned the narcissist in. So now you're aiding and abetting the narcissist, right? So even if the new supply had nothing to do with the crime, but because they know where the weapons that were used, or because they see the evidence of the crime and they know where the evidence is, and because they know the narcissist has already confessed to them, maybe not even just confessed, bragged to them the crimes that they have committed. Now the new supply is complicit if they don't turn in the narcissist, right? So now the narcissist can use that against them and say, if you leave me, or if you expose my lies or my criminal behavior, or the fact that I'm manipulating others, I will turn you in. Or if I go down, you're going down with me. And that's what happens to the new supply. And that's what happens to people who are complicit and hung around with and adored and were tied to the narcissist, or narcissists like these, right? You know, the new supply, if they're not tied in criminally with the narcissist, they will still hide the lies of the narcissist. They will still protect their lies because they have so much to gain if they do. They also have so much to lose if they don't comply with the narcissist, if they don't protect. That's why a lot of times, or you know what, here's the other scenario, and I haven't gotten into this as well. They could be afraid of the narcissist, so they feel like they have to protect the narcissist. There's a lot of shame involved in admitting that you made a mistake and you ended up with such a horrible person. There's also a lot of fear if you should leave the narcissist, because they already have threatened you that they will come after you. If in any way you cause them, the narcissist that is, any pain or cause their facade to be revealed, they will come after you. And they will make those threats. They will tell you, I know where you are, I know your family, I'm going to come after them, I'm going to hurt this person if you don't keep up these lies. I own you. And that's how the narcissist sees their new supply. They own the new supply. And not just the one new supply, by the way, they own the flying monkeys. They own the fan club. That gets close to them, that is, right? Of course, obviously, they can't control all of the fan club or all of their flying monkeys. But the ones that have come alongside the narcissist and have benefited from the narcissist, the narcissist now feels like they own that person, and that person will protect the narcissist's lies and protect their schemes and their manipulations of other people. They're cheating even on other people. They're stealing from their companies, and they will, the new supply and the flying monkeys will protect the narcissist, even though they know it's wrong, because they don't want to get hurt themselves. They know that this narcissist is going to come after them and drag them down, or they know that so many people have already been enchanted by the narcissist, or they're under the narcissist spell, that the narcissist can spin any kind of lies they want about their flying monkey or their new supply that will tear down the new supply and the flying monkeys. So they try to avoid that, and they just back out. I'm not going to expose this. I'm not going to turn the narcissist in. I'm not going to present the evidence. I'm not going to warn other people about the narcissist, because they're afraid. They're afraid either for their personal, physical well-being, but they're also afraid that they're going to be taken down financially by the narcissist. They're also they're afraid that the narcissist will smear them, and that's the life of the new supply with the narcissist. So that's why I tell you guys over and over again, if you were able to get away from the narcissist, if they happen to have discarded you, you are the lucky one. You got away. because those who are stuck with the narcissist will use over and over and over again, and there's no way for them to get out. Um, I mean, I think there is a way, but in their minds, they're convinced that they're going to be injured if they leave. It's like being a part of a gang. This is how it goes. Once you've been initiated into a gang, they have control over you because now they know you know a lot of things that goes on the inside. So they want to control you and make sure you never leave them. Or if you leave them, you have got to keep your mouth zipped, right? Like that's the only way they will allow you to leave is if you will keep your mouth zipped. And you have to be more than above board with that. You cannot even appear as if you spoke to somebody who's catching on to the narcissist, right? Because if the narcissist sees you, talking to someone who is coming after the narcissist, right? If they see you talking to someone who is catching on and is trying to expose the narcissist, then they're going to think that you are helping to expose them, and they will get mad and they will come after you. So it is a psycho, crazy, horrid. This is the very, very darkest. I'm sorry, not the very darkest, because the very darkest leads to, in the crime shows, which I watch, and I tell you about what happens, the demise of people. So that's the darkest side of a narcissist. And they have no empathy. And because they have no empathy, they don't care who they destroy. They don't. They don't care how many people they destroy. They don't care if it's a child. They don't care if it's a disabled person. They don't care if it's somebody who they know has been hurt and abused and abandoned and traumatized their whole life, right? For you. They don't care. They don't care what your story was or is. If you stand in their way, or if you present any threat to them being exposed, then they will do away with you, with whoever is in their way. And people are like, no, no, that couldn't. There are examples. If you have watched some of my other videos about the crime shows I've watched, I use those to show you this is the depravity of what narcissistic personality goes to. Like it can reach that. And that's why you have to be so above, I don't want to just say above board. What you have to do is you have to be cautious when you are dealing with a narcissist. You are not dealing with a normal person who will back down once they're caught. Okay? Like there are criminals out there. Once they're caught, they're like, you caught me. Okay, hands behind my back. You got to handcuff me. You got to take me to the precinct. I get charged. You write up a report. I ask for a lawyer. We go through the whole process. And I ask for mercy, and I ask, they know that. But there are criminals out there who are like, I got caught? No, I'm going to try to talk my way out of this. I'm going to, because the narcissist believes they're the smartest one in the room, right? So they're far smarter than the ones who are catching them. So let me lie to you. I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to convince you that I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to try to charm you to let me go, convince you I'm a nice person. Come on, just let me go. I'm not doing anything. And even though they're being told, this is what you did wrong, you broke the law, I have to arrest you. Oh no, they're going to keep crying, not crying at first, right? They're going to try to finesse their way out of it. They're going to try to talk their way out of it. And then when they start to see like, oh, it's not working, I'm not able to talk my way out of this, I'm going to have to go down to the precinct. So what are they going to do? They're going to freak out. They don't care who is in their way. That's why you see this, if you've been with a narcissist, you see them turn from Jekyll to Hyde, right? How's that work? Dr. Jekyll is the good one, right? Or kind of good, I guess, normal. And Mr. Hyde is the crazed monster who took the poison or whatever, the serum that he created. Well, that's what happens with a narcissist when they are caught. They turn from, oh, come on, baby, we're fine, right? You're okay with this. I didn't do anything. It's not so bad what I did. And I didn't really do it anyway. Come on, baby. And then when it's not accepted, it's like, oh, yeah, you be. Oh, yeah, well, get out, you effing this and that and blah, blah, blah. You're like, what the heck? What? Just not even a minute ago, 1 second ago, they were pouring syrup and sugar all over you, right? About, oh, come on, you're awesome. That's what I like about you, because you're such a good person. You forgive and you care about people. And then the moment when they hear, like, oh, no, I don't believe you. I'm not going to let you get away with it this time. Then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, you effing this and this and that and whatever. I've always known you were a horrible person and you don't care about it. And then they just tear you down. Well, this happens with criminals as well. You guys, it is psycho town, crazy town out there, you guys. But here's the deal. I'm not mad if you have fallen for the narcissist lies. I've fallen for the narcissist lies. I'm not mad at you for um, believing you were on the good side, the good team, right? Because the narcissist presents themselves like this. We're the good side. I'm the good team. We have good morals. All these other people over there, they're disgusting, horrible pigs. And we're the good people. And, I've been part of that before. Like, when you hear the narcissist talk about their family or their exes or their past friends, ex-friends, right? They will convince you, or their place of employment where they used to work and all their coworkers. They will trash them. And at first we believe it. At first we're like, oh, wow, your coworkers are horrible people. I can't believe, that you had to subject yourself to such terrible minded, evil, blah, blah, blah. You go on, and they have gone on and on about how horrible people in their past have been. And we believed it, right? And we, even when we meet these people, we're like, ooh, I don't know that I want to know you too well because I've heard a lot about you from the narcissist, right? I've done that. I've looked at people and thought, oh, they're vile, because the narcissist told me about some vile things supposedly that they had done. And it's possible they did do these things, but to what extent? And also, how much of it is twisted by the narcissist? Now that I'm on this other side, now that I've awakened from the narcissist spell and from their manipulation, from their lies, then that's when the new supply, or you, right? At some point, you guys were the new supply as well. We wake up to it and we're like, holy cow, can't believe that we believed all that stuff and we went along with it, and we convinced ourselves that we were on the good side. We convinced ourselves that we were doing the right thing by protecting the narcissist or being on their side, because they present themselves as the ones that have the moral high ground, right? I'm such a good person. I care about other people. The narcissist will talk themselves up, and they will do a few things to help people. Maybe not even a few things. They may do a lot of things to help people. But then they also do some evil, nasty crap, man, behind closed doors. And that's where you're like, we want to believe that evil and good are very easily discernible, right? We want to believe that an evil person is just 100% always evil, or at least 80% evil, right? So we can always see how terrible they are, or at least most of the time, see that they're mostly terrible. But that's not how it works. Evil comes in through the back door, by the way. It comes in, not, you don't notice it, right? It's unnoticeable. You just start to get feelings. You start to get the hairs on your neck start to go up. The hairs on your arm get to go up. You start to feel uncomfortable around them when they talk about certain things, because you're going, that doesn't really add up. It kind of contradicts what I know, or it also contradicts what I sense. So evil is not easily detectable unless it's like flat out right in front of your eyes. And even then, sadly, even then, they could lie to you right to your face, holding something and telling you they didn't take it. It was given to them. Like, but who gave it to you? They can't tell you who gave it to you. And their story doesn't match up. And it's like, how the heck did they end up with, I don't know, I'm not even going to make it up, but whatever they're holding in their hand. You're going to believe, you want to believe their story, because you're thinking, who would lie straight up, bold faced to somebody? It doesn't even make sense. And actually expect to be believed? Come on, who would do that? A narcissist. A toxic, self-centered, self-serving, non-empathetic, has no sense of humanity inside of them. Now, they can be trained, and this is what I've learned from reading other psychologists. Some of them believe that narcissists can be cured, which I don't think so. And I don't want to say some of them. I think, well, yeah, I guess there are some therapists and people out there who think that. Some of them believe that narcissists can never be trained. I'm sorry, never be cured, but they can be trained. They can be trained to behave in a socially acceptable way, and not just a socially acceptable way. They can be trained to appear morally superior, not superior, I don't know how to say this, morally high, just up there, right? Like they can do all kinds of um, humanitarian things, and they can donate their money to all these amazing organizations, and you're like, wow, they're so wonderful, look at that, they care. No, they don't care. They are working you. This is part of their manipulation, you guys. This is part so that they can tell you what a good person they are and that you can trust them. And you guys, be careful of the flying monkeys you listen to as well. If the flying monkeys seem really desperate, if the flying monkeys seem like, like, wow, I don't know why you're denying something doesn't exist when I see it right in front of my face, and other people are showing me pictures of this existing and video of this existing, and you're still telling me this doesn't exist. Like, I feel like I'm in some kind of a Jedi trance, right? You don't see anything. These are not the androids you're looking for. That's what I think of when I think of the flying monkeys doing the bidding of the narcissist, and also the new supply doing the bidding of the narcissist. Well, you guys, I have gone on for a while here. I do want to hear what you have to say. Yeah. Good morning, John Bailey. Good to see you. Wow, okay. Obi says he's chilling, waiting for his final showdown with his narc, and he gets to do it no contact. That's good. Jihad, good to see you. Yeah, the new supply is future victims of this disorder. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. No, yeah. If you watch, they're not, okay. Well, anyway, just pay attention. That's what I am asking you guys to do. Pay attention. Try to listen to opposing views. Sadly, though, I have a hard time listening to views that are denying things that are happening out there. Yeah. The ones that are flat out lying and you see that they're flat out lying, it's really sad. And also check out the origin, of what they're talking about. Check it out, because you're not going to hear the real story from pathological liars. You're not going to hear it from people who are trying to protect themselves from going to jail. Oh, heck no. When someone knows they're facing jail, and you see it on these videos, by the way, when someone is bent on, no, I'm not going back to jail, they will do anything to prevent that. And you can see that. Now, the ones, like I said, there are some criminals out there that have a conscience, by the way. Yeah, they do. And I think they can be reformed. And that's why I can't just say, oh, all criminals are horrible people. But there are criminals. And by criminals, I mean, you commit a crime. Hello, it's not like, oh, it's the worst thing in the world. But you have to go through the court process. You get arrested because you committed a crime. Um, is there leniency? Yeah, there sometimes is, but you can, uh, it's the ones that have no conscience and will destroy another human being to get out of that consequence of their own actions. That's what disturbs me, and that's what narcissists do. They don't see that they have any responsibility for anybody else, right? And in fact, they see other people as people in their way. You're just in my way. So I have to go through you, and I will do what I need to do to go through you. That's how the narcissist thinks. You're not a person. You're just a thing in their way. So you have to be so careful not to stand in the way of a narcissist. You have to be smarter than them. You can expose them, but you expose them in a very smart way. You don't let them know that you're exposing them. You expose them quietly. You expose them um, innocuously, right? Sort of like that. You know how I told you how evil comes in through the back door? Well, you kind of have to be very quiet even about truth when you're around a narcissist and they're flying monkeys, because truth to them. I mean, when you let me explain something to you. Warfare. The way in the Revolutionary War, for a large part of it, or at least the beginning, the British, what they would do when they would have an attack is they would march two by two straight down the middle of a road, right? Their weapons are not drawn or anything. They're just marching straight down the road. And that's why the colonists, they would stand in the woods and shoot the British soldiers because they're right there, marching straight down the road. Like, hey, we're coming for you, and we're going to march right down the road wearing our bright red coats. And they were easy targets. People who are fighting evil, you cannot just march down the road and say, I'm coming for you, here I am, because evil will do anything it can to suppress you. Anyway, I don't know why I got off on that. Sorry, guys. It was about, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you cannot be blatant. I mean, there is a time for that, maybe in court, maybe when you're near the end of your ordeal with them, you can be blatant. But at the beginning, and possibly through the middle, before you know you've got it clenched, before you know you have the evidence, before you know that you can expose this narcissist, you play along because you don't want the narcissist targeting you. If the narcissist is targeting you, you may not be able to get to your evidence. You may not be able to compile what you need to compile against them, right? You may not be able to build your case against them and be a good witness. What I mean by good witness is that if you act all crazed and angry and emotional and psycho like the narcissist, they're just going to point to you. Well, actually, not like the narcissist, because the narcissist is going to act like they're calm and collected and whatever. They're going to point to you and go, look at how crazy this person is, for crying out loud. They're psychologically crazy. And that's why you need to be calm. If you're calm, then you're more likely to have people listen. But if you're flipping off your mind and you go psycho, it's kind of, it works against you. Not only that, but you do give in to crazy. You give in to freaking Crazytown. So don't do that. You do not need to become like the narcissist. You do not need to lower your standards. Do you become vile or animal, monstrous or anything like that, animalistic? You can be calm. And that is where sanity lives. Sanity does not live in Crazytown. It never will. It just doesn't. So you guys, let me see what is going on here. Yeah. So when you're upfront with a narcissist, sometimes they will use that. Not just sometimes. If they can use it against you, they will use it against you. If they know what it is you hate, or what it is makes you uncomfortable, or makes you feel awful, or hurts your feelings, they will use that in the right time when they're trying to hurt you as much as they can. So that's why I say from the beginning, you guys, and through most of my, or a lot of my videos, is you don't want to share your intimate information, your vulnerable information, your deep feelings and thoughts with the narcissist. You can have an interaction with the narcissist. You can, and I don't know to what extent, it's somewhat of a relationship, I guess, but it's more of an acquaintanceship. Do not think that this narcissist is your best friend or someone you can rely on. It does not happen for the narcissist. Wallace, good to see you. Yes, I totally agree. Lala says suffering from severe anxiety after narc abuse. It's like the aftershock from hell. It is. It really is. And I think a lot of people right now are being traumatized by the same type of thing. You know, this crazy town that's, uh, you know, just the evil that's out there, the anger, the hatred. And you don't fight hatred with more hatred, by the way. The more hatred you push, the bigger the common hatred becomes. So I hope that you guys are taking this to heart. There is a time um, to feel hate, right? There is, because we're made this way. We're human. We're going to hate at some time, at some point in our life, right? And but what do you do with that hate? Do you allow it to grow? Do you justify it? Do you then attack other people in hopes that this hatred will then subside? No. What you do with that hatred is you identify it. Like, what? Why am I feeling this way? What is evoking this feeling inside of me? And then when you figure it out, like, oh, because I really don't like it when this happens to me, or when I am ignored, or when I am taken advantage of, then you're like, oh, okay, so now what can I do about that? You know, how do I protect myself from being taken advantage of again? How do I protect myself from getting to this level of anger because I was ignored, right? Then you learn emotional maturity to handle those things. And by emotional maturity, let me explain to you. You know what? I really enjoyed or really liked, what's his name? Mr. Rogers, I guess? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I didn't realize this. I mean, I watched him some as a kid, like kinda. I don't know if they were doing reruns. I don't know what it was. But I never really realized what he was doing out there. Some of his shows were for very little children who were dealing with emotional immaturity, right? They're dealing with anger. They're dealing with fear. They're dealing with anxiety or worry. And he talks to them and he helps them to mature emotionally and not give into those feelings of anxiety or fear or anger, because kids don't know what to do with those things unless parents teach them, right? Or unless somebody else teaches them the right way to deal with it. Most of the time we get taught the wrong way to deal with those emotions, and we have outbursts and we freak out, or we that's why there's so much mental issues, I think, right now in the world, and not just today or this year, but mounting over the years, because people are getting less and less teaching on emotional maturity. They are. They're not being taught, what do you do with that anger? What do you do with that anxiety? What do you do with that worry? Right? What do you do with that jealousy? What do you do with that fear? They're not taught. They just are told, ah, you know what? You have all the right in the world to feel all of these things, and therefore, you know, if you do something bad, just forgive yourself and keep moving on, or you know, write off that person, or get back at that person, or take some revenge, or, you know, I'm just like, what? That's the worst advice possible that's out there. So be careful if you are going into some of these channels and that's what they're teaching you. Beware that they are leading you back into hell. They are. They're leading you back into Crazy Town. Don't go there. Another thing I've heard, oh my gosh, you guys, a term that I have heard kind of recently, I guess in the last couple of months, is toxic positivity. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? People who hate positivity. All right. I've heard it. Actually, it's not a new thing, by the way. I've heard it since I was a kid. That, oh, I hate Barney because Barney is so happy all the time. I'm like, you know, this dinosaur, purple dinosaur. I don't know if any of you guys know about this. People hated him. And I'm like, Why? Because it was just cool to hate somebody or something that was trying to spread a positive comment or positive, what am I trying to say? Message, a positive message. So it's like, oh, it's cool to hate that. And now I think it's cool to hate positivity because, I mean, it's been cool back then, actually. So, what is toxic positivity? Toxic positivity is when, and I can kind of understand this because let me tell you, I do try to listen to both sides. I kind of understand it. When you're in the dumps, when everything has gone wrong in your life, and this happy-go-lucky person comes along, and you're like, they ask you, "What's wrong? Why are you looking so sad?" And you tell them you just wrecked your car, totaled it. You found out that your girlfriend or boyfriend just cheated on you. Your dog is ill, is sick. You know, your mom is mad at you or dad, and they're not talking to you. Your best friend just cheated on you. I mean, your world is just falling apart. And they're like, well, things will get better. Don't worry about it. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's not just I wouldn't call that toxic positivity. I would call that oblivion. Like this person is so oblivious and not able to connect with someone who's going through misery. All right, I get it. I get that. But when people are stuck in their misery and bad things have happened, and lots and lots of, like I just listed, bad things happen to them. And maybe not even lots, by the way. A lot of times it's like one bad thing happens to somebody and they get stuck in depression and they get stuck blaming and they get stuck angry and feeling like a victim, all right? And they're stuck there for weeks, months, years. I can't get a job because I can't, I'm still crying over something that happened 3 years ago. Like, you know, that's where you need somebody to come in and help you get past that. And it's not toxic positivity. It's people who are trying to get you to see, oh my gosh, but look at all the friends that you do still have. Look at all the good things. They're trying to get your mind off of the horrible things that happened, or one horrible thing that happened, and onto something else that's good, that's positive, that will build you up, that will give you strength. And there's those out there who will keep you stuck in the mire, stuck in the mud, stuck in your negativity and blaming other people. And yeah, you're right. And yeah, that person's awful. And all they speak is hatred. All they speak is anger. That's not going to pull you out. I mean, it might turn you into a monster yourself because you come out of, okay, you might feel like you're getting strength by hating somebody. You might feel like you're healing or getting stronger or moving forward by hating the person who hurt you. But all you're doing now is you're carrying that hate with you into your next relationship, into the rest of your life, into your future. And it's not going to serve you well. It is going to create a wall between you and good people. Good people are not going to want to come in to that. Good people are not going to be attracted to that. Good people are going to see like, wow, this person's really stuck, and I'll try to help them get out of that angry room that they've barricaded themselves into. Um, Good people might try, but then they're going to get accused of toxic positivity, right? They're going to get accused of not listening well enough, of not being sympathetic enough or empathetic, or, and it's like, wow, okay, I don't think very many people out there are actually equipped to handle that kind of crazy, that kind of negativity, that kind of just obliterated self. They're not equipped to do that. So they might seem like, well, how can you just say, I should get over it, or I should wake up and make my bed and drink a cup of water and get moving and focus on myself, where I should be reading books that are uplifting. Well, how can you tell me to do all these things? Well, because it works. Because those things work. That's why I tell you guys those things as well. That's how I pulled myself out, and how some other people who've helped me pulled me out, by recommending books, by recommending certain people to listen to, positive messages. Once I started doing that, and also for me, leaning on God, that's a huge part for me. Once I started doing that, I was able to come out of that cloud of misery, of negativity, of abandonment, of destruction that we're left in after the narcissist has come into our life. Or if you've been raised by a narcissist, it seems to hang over you for a long, long time until you can identify that, until you can identify what's causing you to stay in Crazytown. You stay there. You don't move out of there. And there will be books and people and videos that will help you, if you listen to them, that are positive, that will start to pull you out. Anyway, another thing is, oh, I like this. Somebody just said, yeah. Obi, you have a lot of comments in here, so I seem to be favoring Obi, but, and I do, I guess, because I read a lot of. I'm not just favoring. I like all of these comments, but I don't get to see all of them. But Obi just said, and laugh at your problems. Absolutely, you can get to that point, and that's what I hope for you guys, is to get to that point where you laugh at this, like you're just, wow, that's total BS. Okay, just what the heck just happened, and you laugh at it because it's bizarre, and you feel like you just come off of a carnival ride with these crazy people. So you have to go, wow, at least I'm off of that ride. I'm a little dizzy, but at least I'm off of that ride. And yeah. Miss Angel, good to see you. Yep. Miss Angel says the new supply turns into the narc. Yep, they do. And that's the scary thing is, if you don't catch yourself, you can turn into the hateful, manipulative, angry, um, victim narc, right? And you don't want to do that because it's very unempowering. It will rob you of your life, just like it robs the narcissist and it robs the new supply. And you don't want that in your life. Funky Friday, good to see you. Yes, people hate truth as well. Yep, because they cannot handle the truth. They don't want to believe the truth. If they must get some benefit from believing the lie, right? People usually get some benefit from believing a lie. And so so long as they continue to benefit from that, they are not going to want the truth. And also the truth is humbling. It is humbling, especially if you were against the truth and didn't realize it. I'm not saying like all these people out there who are against the truth are just evil, horrible narcissists. Some of them just don't realize it. They don't realize they're on the wrong side because the wrong side is so convincing. The wrong side is continually telling you how virtuous they are. The wrong side is a facade, right? They paint this pretty picture or a picture that makes you think, well, how can I be against that? Their message sounds so positive, right? And that's what evil is. They will put a positive message on something that's disgusting and evil. They're not going to tell you what it actually is, because if they do, who the heck's going to want it, right? So they got to package it in a really pretty way, in very pretty words, and in a way that makes them look like they are on the moral high ground. Then you believe it. You start to go, yeah, I'm going to fight for the moral high ground. I'm going to fight for the people who are trying to help other people. And then you find out that these people all along had been taking advantage of people, had been manipulating their way. And not just that, they've been, oh my gosh, you guys, I have a hummingbird. I hope he comes down to the flower so you can see it. Okay, yeah, he's kind of flown up. But, oh gosh, you guys, so sorry. if you continue to believe these lies, it's because you want to believe that you're on the right side, right? You want to believe it. Like, how could I be on the wrong side? How could I be on the side of people who are actually hurting other people, who are actually manipulating other people and me? It's very humbling to see the truth in it. It's very hard to admit that you were part of the problem, right? When you were a flying monkey, and I, by the way, I've been a flying monkey for the narcissist, and I went along with it because I believed the narcissist. I was being sympathetic to the narcissist. I thought the narcissist was the victim. So I was like, yeah, I'm on your side. The heck with that other person. You're right. And here I am, like building up the narcissist, encouraging them, telling them that they're wonderful and that the other person is terrible. Um, it's humbling once you realize, like, oh my gosh, I was played and I was wrong. I was totally wrong on that count. My judgment was totally off with the narcissist because I believed what they said. My heart wanted to do the right thing. My heart wanted to protect someone that I thought was the victim. And not that I attacked anybody, um, but I certainly didn't reach out to help other people that I thought was the narcissist's enemy, right? Like I didn't know what to do for them. Like I just kind of backed away. So there are others out there that are doing far worse than that, who are not just backing away, but they are attacking people alongside the narcissist. They will attack the old supply, right? The X. And some of you have experienced that, where the new supply is badgering you, is coming against you. And I've had viewers come on to say that the new supply is even charging them, oh, is it filing, I can't even remember that, where you have to stay away from people. You know, yeah, so the new supply is actually believing everything the narcissist is saying to them about you. So they think that you are the enemy and that you are the worst person in the world, according to the narcissist, right? So it must be empirical knowledge. um, they want to believe that because they are with a narcissist. They are living in this fantasy with the narcissist that they don't want to give up. Well, you guys, let me see. I have a few notes. I want to make sure yeah. The new supply will stop in a couple of different situations. One, uh, yeah, they could have criminally got caught as well, along with the narcissist. But sadly, they don't let go of the narcissist. I have seen this, where even when the new supply gets arrested, along with the narcissist, and the narcissist totally throws the new supply under the bus, the new supply will still protect the narcissist because they think that somehow they're going to both come out of this and be able to get back together and live out their lives. And it's not until they're like a year or a few months into their jail sentence that their prison sentence, that they realize, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here and I'm not getting out of here and I'm not going to live this beautiful, crazy fantasy that I thought I had with the narcissist. And the reason I'm here is because of the narcissist. Then they wake up. Sadly, a bit too late, right? It's just very sad if it gets to that point. Another sad thing for the new supply, and I know that we don't always feel sorry for the new supply because they do make their own choices, but the sad situation is that sometimes people get stuck with the narcissist to the bitter end. Till death do they part, right? Till they pass away, one of them, of old age or whatever, right? They stay with the narcissist until their life is over. And that is, to me, very sad. And I would not wish that on any of us, right? That's why I'm excited and happy if you guys got out. I know some of you may not feel happy and excited for being out right now. You're devastated. You're watching the narcissist live out this fantasy, if you will, with their new supply, and you're like, devastated. You're just in pain. Well, you're actually better off because the new supply is their fantasy world is temporary. Their fantasy is a lie and they are being used. It's just not a good thing. So another way that the new supply may exit the relationship with a narcissist, by the way, is the benefits stop. Like, the this is where possibly the new supply is just also a horrible person and a narcissist themselves. But the narcissist loses their job. The narcissist loses their beautiful, amazing income, right? And that allowed them to take crazy, wonderful vacations and lavish gifts onto the new supply. Once that dries up, the new supply is like, I'm out of here. No more benefit to sticking around with somebody who has no job, has no income, and now is dragging me down financially. And ugh, that's creepy and gross to me, that kind of relationship at all. I'm just like, well, they each got what they deserved, I guess. And that's where karma comes in, you guys. And if you get to witness karma do its work, it's almost like, hallelujah. It's just amazing. Uh, so another way, another reason possibly that the new supply exits the relationship, and when they will exit it is when everything starts to crumble. It just starts to crumble, the whole relationship, right? There's no more love bombing. The narcissist is no longer lavishing attention and love and gifts onto the new supply. Now they're lavishing it on to somebody else because they're monkey branching, you guys, right? They're moving on to somebody else. And the new supply is kind of left there with this crumbling relationship or contract, really. Any relationship with a narcissist is a business contract. That's the way I see it. That's the way the narcissist treats it. But the new supply doesn't realize that until it starts to crumble. And the new supply is still required to fulfill their side of the contract, but not the narcissist, right? The narcissist is trying to get out of the contract. And their fantasy starts to crumble. They no longer are this happy couple that hangs out and sings show tunes and goes on incredible vacations and has the best time ever. They're no longer lovey-dovey with each other when they're out dancing or at a restaurant or on a double date or whatever, group dates and stuff. That's when you start to see, like, wow, they're not even standing on the same side of the room. They're actually both even flirting with other people. You start to see their relationship crumble. And that's when the new supply starts to fade away or possibly even discards the narcissist and says, I'm out of here. I've had enough. This is not the relationship I thought we were going to have. So, you guys, that's sadly the only time, though, when the new supply finally stops hiding the narcissist lies. That's when it's possible that the new supply will contact you or other exes to see if they can get some healing from commiserating and from getting the story from you. Like, they want to hear that the same thing happened to you that happened to them, right? And it sometimes is cathartic. Sometimes it does help. For us too. I know it's helped me to hear about, oh my gosh, okay, so this new supply also went through that with that person. Or when I see other victims, sadly, of course, of the narcissist coming out of the relationship, and I'm like, wow, okay, it wasn't just in my head, and it wasn't just me. I wasn't the only one that the narcissist felt they could treat this way. So that's how a lot of times people can heal from seeing that, because they don't feel alone in their healing and in their pain, and they realize, wow, it becomes more and more evident to them the truth of who the narcissist really was. Because a lot of times we struggle with, did I really see what I saw? Did I really experience what I experienced? Was my take on it just so off that because there's something wrong with me, that I messed up this relationship and it wasn't the narcissist that messed it up? We question a lot of those things. But when we hear from other exes of the narcissist or other supply that the narcissist has had, and you hear what they had gone through, you're like, wow, it wasn't me. It's the freaking narcissist. Uh, oh, Obi, no, I didn't, but I might come back to that sometime. I might do that. I just wasn't in the mood for that profanity at the time. And right now, I'm kind of really super busy, but I may come back to that. I still have it saved, though, in the community comments, so I may come back to that video. because at this point my threshold for profanity is definitely going up. It's terrible. Not that I want to hear it, by the way, but sometimes it comes out of me. Actually, I do want to hear it. I have been listening to somebody who just like curses through this whole video pretty much. And I'm just like, yes, he's so right. Oh my gosh, And, um, but he's funny about it. He's not like angry. It's that to me is kind of like maybe that's my threshold is, I can't do the angry profanity stuff, but yeah, we will see. Faith till the end. Good to see you. Says the discard was very bad and the stalking I could not heal. It helped so much to move. Thankfully, actually, I had a lot of blessings once I got away. That's awesome. Yes, Faith till the end says it's like once you get away, throw all your bad habits away with them. Yes, totally agree with that. Yeah. Yep. And Funky Friday says it's gonna happen for the news supply. Yes, it will. They do not escape that. We all, at some point question, like, wow, did they really change for the new supply? And I will tell you, no, they do not change for the new supply. Oh my gosh, Funky Friday, yes. Cognitive dissonance is real. It absolutely is real. That's why I look at it and I'm like, holy freaking A, we're in Crazytown here. I got to the point where, I think I was making my husband not so happy with me because I have been cursing like a sailor lately. I was like, okay, I got to stop with that because I don't want to do that, but I get so upset sometimes, especially with what's going on and the lies that we're being told, and I'm in the control they're trying to put on us, and I'm just like, oh, heck no, 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 no. But this is what I've resolved to do. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this show. It's called The Good Place. I don't think it turned out to be all that great, but the first couple of seasons I thought were pretty funny. But this girl, she ends up in what she thinks is heaven. Okay, so she dies and she goes to heaven, and she meets Ted Danson, who supposedly, I don't know that he's God. No, he's not God. He's like some angel, right? Supposedly, and he's welcoming her into heaven. And in this good place, she doesn't real. She's like, oh, it's like almost like Earth. You got your yogurt shops, you got your restaurants, you have your town square, movie theater, etc. And something frustrates her, and she tries to curse, and she ends up saying, "What the shirt? Wait, shirt, shirt," and she can't say, what I'm saying, crap. But so she keeps saying shirt, and then she goes, "What the fork? Wait, why can't I say fork? Fork? Well, why? What?" Anyway, that's what I'm resorting back to is I'm going to start saying what the shirt and what the fork, because yeah, you don't want to get into filthy language. Honestly, it's sometimes it feels really good. I gotta agree with you guys about that, but really it's not. It's destructive. Hatred is destructive, and it's better to laugh than to hate, guys. Anyway, I hope that made some sense to you. It is. Let me see. I'm going back to see if I missed some of your comments. Okay. Artist Lover said that Arc X New Supply told someone she was moving out of state, but she just ended up moving in the same town, moving somewhere else in the same town. Yeah. Oh, really, Obi? That's funny. Obi says chicks talk to him longer than 2 minutes when he's wearing his mask. All right. I hate my mask. I will not wear it. It's not even my mask. Somebody gave it to me. Which was really nice. Yeah, she happened to make a bunch of masks early on. It's this elderly lady that I know. And she's like, "Would you like a mask?" I was like, "Okay, sure." It's pretty. It's got polka dots. And I was like, "Okay, sure, why not? I'll hold on to that." And so that's what I use. Yeah. Yeah. Faith Tidian says, yes, I tried to get away many times, escaped once even. He was relentless. So glad I'm away now. Exactly. A lot of times it's not like one exit and you're done with the narcissist. It is multiple. I've had, oh, yeah, thinking back of a couple of narcissists that have been in my life, it had been multiple efforts to get away from them because they beg. They beg you to stay. They act as if you leaving them is traumatizing them. So you feel bad and you're like, okay, okay, I'll stay. And yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to say too about the new supply, why they hide the narcissist lies or protect it or push the narcissist lies, is because they feel guilty. Yeah, the narcissist guilts them into thinking that, you know, they're you're going to hurt the new supply will hurt the narcissist and is would be a bad person if they hurt the narcissist. So they have to protect the narcissist's lies, right? They have to stay quiet. They have to allow the narcissist to do what they're doing, because if they don't, then they are going to expose the narcissist and cause the narcissist harm. And if they're going to cause the narcissist harm, they are guilty of hurting another human being. And so the new supply feels like they're caught between a hard place and a rock, right? Um, yeah. So most of us have been in that situation at some point. And that's why I compare it to, though, the new supply, because they're now at this point currently going through that. We've already gone through it. They are now going through it. And that's what I want you all to understand too, is when you think that the narcissist has changed, their life seems to be getting on track. It's a facade. It's the new supply trying to make it look like everything is on track, right? The new supply is trying to protect their world, their fantasy world with the narcissist. So they're going to try to make it look like, look, the narcissist changed for me because I'm so special. And by the way, they're not. The new supply always thinks that they're the most special one in the narcissist's life, and they're the only one who can cure and save and help the narcissist become a better person. So to the rest of us, we're watching that from afar. We're watching it like we're watching a movie, right? And or a soap opera, more likely. And we're thinking, this, looks like they've changed. Looks like the new supply is happy. The new supply is, always ranting, not ranting, but raving, I guess, about how wonderful the narcissist is and how they've met their soulmate and how they've never loved anyone as much as they love the narcissist. And then lo and behold, 2 months later, 2 years later, whatever it is, you see the new supply and they're either divorced from the narcissist, they have broken up with the narcissist, or they're still with the narcissist and miserable, right? They just look like death warmed over. They look like a truck just ran over them. So this is the reality for the new supply. But they will protect that lie, that fantasy, and they will protect the narcissist because they have something to gain. So you guys, well, we are at the end of our hour, but I always give you guys a few more minutes to wrap up your conversation. And I just want to see if there are some other comments here. Yeah. I'm sorry, let me go back a little bit. Oh, wow. Okay, let me go back a bit more. Oh, yeah. Faith Tillian says, I knew him as a teen, so my mind was not as clear when we got together at 39. But he showed me a lot of red flags from the beginning. Total dirt. Low life. Yeah. Obi says, these are sneaky losers we're talking about here. Yep. And that's when Faith said that she did try to get away. And then finally did. Yeah. I've used that reference before too. Obi says, like Sodom and Gomorrah, do look forward Don't look back or you'll be consumed with the evil about to be destroyed. Absolutely. You know, that's what happened to Lot's wife. She was told not to look back. You know, like when you come out of an evil place, go forward. Don't look back longingly. Don't look back with warm feelings and you know, wishing that you were back there, because it will drag you back there. But when she looked back, she turned to a pillar of salt. Yep, she was destroyed. Faith till the end says it did go on 7 years. There's a lot of terrorism to this story. I mean, some severe brainwashing amongst a lot of things. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's another thing I did not mention, is the brainwashing that happens to the new supply. And that's another reason why they hide, protect, or push the narcissist's lies, because they are completely brainwashed. Well, I mean, I kind of touched on it because I talked about how the narcissist convinces them that they're on the good side, they're on the moral high ground, they're the ones who are doing good things and everybody else is evil. That's the brainwashing. So the new supply totally believes that. And then because they believe that, they will continue to protect the narcissist. Yep. And it is a brainwashing. Yep. V says to let him destroy himself and trust he got what he deserves. But who cares if he doesn't? He's gone. Yep. They're going to get what they deserve. Honestly, they will. If not here, then in the end, they will. And that's what keeps me sane is, you know what? It's not up to me to exact revenge or justice or anything like that. It's up to me to live the best that I can live. Now that I know better, I'm going to do better. Now that I know how to help people, I'm going to help people. Now that I know how to get stronger, I'm going to help other people get stronger. Now that I see the truth, I'm going to help other people see the truth. That's how you should live. Now, others won't live that way. They will go to the bitter end behaving like horrible people. Some new supply will go to the bitter end as a horrible person, becoming like the narcissist and continually protecting the narcissist. Absolutely crazy. Nobody says that's why we're all here, because it went long for us all. Same story, different narc. Faith says he has the most miserable life. I know this because he is that severe. I never want to see the demon again. So thankful I escaped. Not sure if I would be alive. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's what I want you all to understand. That you get to live now. Life is a gift. It's a blessing. Please don't see life as a curse, right? It's not. Life is hard. Let me tell you that. And I've said that before too. Life is hard. There are times when you're just like, what do I do? How do I do this? But the beauty comes when you've overcome the hard parts, right? The beauty comes in and you are stronger because of that. And you make better decisions, you make better friends, you make a better life. That's the beauty of life. It's like you can always have another chance. As long as you have breath in you, you have another chance. And people will say, no, all my chances are over. My life is doomed. The end is written. No, the end is not written. You get to write the end of your story. You may not have been the author of the beginning of it because it wasn't your choice what family you were born into, or what happened when you were a child, or whether you got good things or bad things. You didn't get to write that. But now you do. Now you are an adult. Now you have control over your life. And you get to choose. You get to make decisions. You get to write your story, the rest of your story. So that should be so empowering to you and motivating, that you would want to write the best rest of the story that you can, right? It makes everything else worth it. It makes everything else seem more amazing, actually. Even the hard things that you went through, it makes it look like, wow, you are more magnificent and wonderful than you ever thought you could be. Because if you came out of horrible adversity and you achieved something for yourself that's beautiful, I mean, there's no more beautiful story than that, in my opinion. Well, you guys, I hope. Oh, let me see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Funky Friday says, Escape from Crazytown. Do you have a video about narcissistic friends or family? I think I do. I think it might be Narcissist plus Narcissist equals Crazytown, where I talk about some friends and some family in there. That's absolute Crazytown. Oh my gosh, I do. Okay, I'll put it in the description or in the comments for you guys so you will be able to click on it. And also in that little eye icon, it takes my videos like, oh my gosh, 12 to 24 hours now to upload completely, where I can edit the video and put an end screen. I don't know, there's little in things at the end, but also the little eye icon where I can list for you some of the videos that I reference when I'm on my live stream. I will put that there as well. But I think it's Narcissist plus Narcissist equals Crazytown. And there's another one where it's like mailboxes. I think it's the picture you'll see. Um, yeah. So I'll post those for you. I do talk about friends because I have a super narcissist friend who totally backstabbed me big, big time. And it wasn't until then that I realized this person was bad news. I mean, I was that blinded by a friend, by a friendship, that I had so much sympathy for her, so much empathy. Her husband cheated on her, had a baby with this other person that he cheated on with, with on her, and then didn't even end up with that person. Ended up with a third person, right? Anyway, so I had such empathy for her, and she would complain about her husband through the years, and I always took her side. That's part of the brainwashing. We believe the narcissist. I took her side, and I thought, oh, I felt so bad for her. Not that I was mean to her husband or her ex once he became her ex, but I always uh, took her side. I just always like encouraged her and told her that she was wonderful and that he was the bad person. And I believed that because I only heard one side of the story, right? And then the evidence, it looked like he was the bad person because he had an affair on her, right? And had a baby. And she seemed to be so nice about everything. To me, of course, right? Because I didn't see what was really happening behind closed doors between the two of them. To me, she was reporting like how altruistic she was and how forgiving she was and how much she still wanted things to work out between her and her husband. What I didn't see were the ultimatums, right? What I didn't see was what she was actually telling her husband. Like, if we're going to stay together, this is the way it's going to be. And he couldn't do it. He just couldn't live the rest of his life like that with this narcissist. So he bailed. He got the heck out of there. So, but it looks like from the outside, like he was the bad guy because he left, and it looked like she was the victim. Anyway, total narcissist. I can go into it, but I do talk about her a few times in some of my other videos, and it was horrible. Yeah. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can go under videos, or you can go under, I do have them broken out by categories. But if you go through all of my videos, you can scroll down and see all the videos I've made. So, well, you guys, we are at the end of our hour now, almost hour and a half. I hope that this has given you some sanity this week. I hope that you will check yourself when you're feeling angry, resentful, and hateful. That, it's okay to feel these ways. It's part of being human. There's no shame in feeling that way. Now, what you do with that, that's up to you. You can either choose life or you can choose death. And I suggest you choose life, right? Choose the way that will lead to life, not the way that will lead to death. And what I mean by death is like death of character and death of a future. You don't want to destroy your future. You want to have a good future. So I wish this on you guys. I wish you many blessings and stay strong. You guys have got this. We have each other. We have the truth. Keep focusing on the truth and chase after the truth. The Bible says that wisdom is more valuable than gold. And those who seek wisdom will be blessed, right? Those who seek wisdom seek the right thing. So do that. Be wise, make good choices. I know you guys will, and I will see you here next week. Blessings to you guys.